All right, I'm Dr. Camper here, and I'm going to talk about a very important skill that you will learn in college, and that is taking notes. So this is a fairly short PowerPoint presentation where I'll give you some ideas on how to take notes. So before you go to class, you should do the readings in the textbook and write in your book. It's okay to do that. Check and recheck your syllabus. It's important to do that. Your syllabus is kind of like your contract with the professor for that course. Make use of any extra materials that are present. And review your notes from the last class so you'll be caught up and ready to hear what the professor is going to say. Come to class prepared. You should listen for the main ideas, write down questions, and of course, notice what your instructor writes down. Preparing for class, then this goes into a little more detail on what the last couple of slides show, so I'm not going to bother to read it all. You can read it yourself, but the fourth one down, if your professor does talk too fast, you can take a tape recorder, and if professor gives you permission, record their lectures. People have done that in my class, and I always give them permission. Anything to help students learn. And it helps to sit in the same seat every day. Your concentration. And even when you're bored, take notes. A good student does well in classes, even if they're not interested in that class, which will take more effort, of course, but you won't be interested in every class you take. But if you want good grades, you're going to have to do well in those classes. And then you can use a highlighted color code if you want to, as shown there at the bottom. And keep your attention focused on what the teacher is saying. Listen for important phrases that they use. It's important to abbreviate. It takes a long time to write down words, so use symbols and shortened words, etc. And put question marks next to your notes, and be sure to ask either other classmates or the professor. We don't mind answering questions. That's why we're here. We like to interact with students. And I know right now in this pandemic, we're not doing a whole lot of that, but this pandemic won't last forever. So a couple formats. You can use an outline format, and it works well if your instructor uses it. We can use a list format, and that's good for jotting down lists of facts, steps, and processes, that sort of thing. And there are notes that you take before class when reading your textbook. There are notes you take in class, and then notes you take to review and prepare for further discussion, like for quizzes, exams, and presentations. So what do you do with all these notes? Well, interestingly, most forgetting takes place within the first day or so of encountering the information. That's why it's important to look over it frequently. This comes from a book called Your College Experience. So you can type them, or you can rewrite them in an outline format. I find that if I write something down, it really sticks in my head. I think a lot of people are like that, but certainly not everybody. Part of the problem with college is you need to find what kind of note-taking and studying skills work for you. And that's what you'll be figuring out your freshman year. And you can compare them with other students in a study group and look for answers to your questions. You'll probably come up with questions if you're rewriting your notes. I think it's better to write by hand. I know for me, I remember something if I write it down more than if I type it. And then, of course, it's important to review your notes a lot. Don't wait till the night before an exam and try and cram everything in your head. That does not work. Believe me, I've seen students try it hundreds and hundreds of times, and they get bad grades almost every time. And that is all we have for this presentation. Oh, wait, sorry. Don't forget that for every hour you spend in class, you'll need to spend at least 2 hours outside of class studying so that you don't get behind. So again, college is a full-time job. You need to treat it as such. And that really is the end now.